All right. Well, hi everyone. My name is Jenny Peckle, and I am going to be giving you my screencast for the UDL project. So for the UDL project, I had um, representation 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. 1.1 is just a basic overview on how you need to provide multiple different ways for students to see and hear and view things. 1.2 is the one that I am going to focus on in this screencast presentation. And then 1.3 is about how you need different cultural representations and things like that in your classroom and in your resources that you use, like in your classroom libraries or in lessons that you teach, having that multiple representation. But for today, I'm going to be talking about how in the UDL guidelines you need to support multiple ways to perceive information. So this part of the UDL guidelines talks about how sometimes images and videos and things aren't accessible to all learners, and how some students may have a hearing impairment. So always having something like a video that you need to listen to is not accessible. It talks about how students with learning disabilities may need text to speech. So they may need something to read to them instead of having to read it. And this is just basically says that, everyone is different in the way that they learn, and that as teachers, we need to give equal access to fostering the way that our students learn. So for both of my tools that I found, I'm going to be using this consideration 1.2, so supporting multiple ways to perceive information. I'm going to be using it for both of my tools. So the first tool that I chose is a text tool. So the first area of this part of the guidelines is that text is an important way for learning, but sometimes text isn't accessible to students, and how students need to be given audio options for that. So the first app that I found, or software that I found that can be used for students, is an app called Speechify, and this is something that you can download on computers. There are free options, but there are also options that you'll pay for that have more opportunities with them, more options. So on this app, as you can see, they have many different choices of people who can talk. So like, I thought this was pretty cool because kids, Mr. Beast is a big person. Like, he is a big guy for kids and they love him. So having him being able to read text to them, I thought would be cool. Kids would enjoy that. This is available anywhere. One way that I think students would use it most is on like Google Docs and things on Chrome. So if you use it on Chrome, any website that you use on Chrome, you can use this with, and it will have it read to you. So on the option that you pay for, I'm going to pull up here. So there is a free option where you get 10 standard reading voices, listen up to 1 time speed. You can listen anywhere, text to speech features only, or for $11.58 a month, which this is per person, so I'm not sure how it would be per school. But you have you can listen it will give you multiple languages. You can scan printed text as well. You can, and there's more reading voices, some more natural than others. So it is accessible, although I am not sure how much it would cost for a whole school to use. So there's that. But features, like I said, but it also can give you AI summaries, so you could give it a text and that text would give you the key takeaways. You can read at different speeds. And then here's just some reviews. So this Sir Richard Branson, he said that Speechify is absolutely brilliant. He had dyslexia growing up and this would have made a big difference. He's happy to have it today. Anna says, I used to hate school because I'd spend hours just trying to read the assignments. Listening has been totally life-changing. This app saved my education. This has made my job 10 times easier. And then just from reading these, all good things. People don't have any negative things to say about that. In education, I think this would be helpful for if students are doing research. I know my students just did a colonial PBL, so if they did research, having this available to read the articles they're finding would be beneficial. I think just in general, some students are just audio learners, so having the text, I know me personally, I'm an audio learner, so having the text, like having a text read to me is super beneficial. And it's, we use something like this in my classroom right now, in my placement, and it just helps our students that have difficulties with reading. And then how this is applied here, for text here, it says that it's one of the easiest ways and that we should provide access to text-to-speech software. So that's that software there. And then my second tool is going to be in regard to the sound. And this is just saying how students need sound, but sound isn't always accessible for students. Especially here where it says learners with hearing disabilities or learners who have memory difficulties. So this is saying that we need, if we provide something that has a sound, it needs to also have something visual with it for our students who are visual learners. So one of the things that I found was this timer app. I know it has a lot of ads on it, but there is a yearly $24 fee that you can pay to get those apps, or to get the ads taken away. But just for this purpose, I'm going to show you this timer, so you can put however much time. I'm going to put 5 seconds, and then you can press start. Once this timer is done, it is going to provide a sound, and it is also going to flash. So I found this to be helpful because not only does it give the sound, but it also gives the visual countdown and it flashes. So once the timer is done, it flashes and students know that that is done. Even if they have a hearing impairment, they're still able to see the flashing. I thought this was fun because a lot of teachers throughout their day, they time the students and they want their students to be done. And in my classroom especially, we use timers often. So I thought that this was helpful because it not only does the sound, but it also flashes. And I could see myself using this. The nice thing about this app is this website is there's many different timers, so that the teacher can use. One that I've used in the classroom before is this candle timer. It has a candle, and then as the time goes down, the candle burns. And then once the timer is up, the candle is completely gone, and you see that the time is also down to 0, which is helpful for students. This is just a basic thing that teachers can use. And it fits with the part of the UDL guidelines that says provide visual or tactile equivalents for sound effects or alerts. So the flashing is that visual equivalent for the sound for students who may not be able to hear or are sensitive to the sound. And then just a review here from Teachers First. They said that this is a wonderful tool to use in their classroom. It provides an online stopwatch, which has your choice of stopwatch, or it has a countdown. There are even large stopwatches where you can look at it full screen, which is easier for students to see. And this one here, there's an ad. This is the only downside. There's lots of ads, but this is something that I would use in my classroom for students, and this would be an easy day-to-day thing that I would use. Thank you.